Hey friends, welcome to Conversations with Casey. This is a safe space that has been created for us to come together and talk about all things concerning life, from God to family, mental health, relationships, and everything in between. It is my hope that with each episode, you are able to take something away that you can use to improve your life, and most of all, that I'm relatable to you so you know that you are not alone in whatever it is that you're facing. So,
I gotta
let's
thank
get
God
into
for a
it.
life like this. Things could be different when I write my list. Looking at the plays and the shots I miss. Maybe if I could, I would pop my shh. Think I
All right, friends. So I did take some notes. Hopefully, it will keep me on track, but I can't make any promises. So this is the introduction video. We are just taking time to get to know each other, right? And you are figuring out like how is it that I had a friend that I never knew about, right? And not just any friend, a friend that I needed, because I'm that friend that you need in life, right? But I'm here now. Things are about to get better. So let's start with who am I? I am a lot of different things, a lot of different people. But let's just be careful who you ask, because I can't control the narrative that people have of me. It's never me, it's always them. But I am, first and foremost, Kim. I am a licensed social worker in the state of Tennessee. I am in school for my doctorate degree. Yes, the Lord is kind. Pray for me. I'm in that last year working on my capstone, and your friend is stressed. Okay. I think Kim can best be described as the daughter, sister, niece, aunt, professional combination, right? That's that person like this. Sometimes unfiltered. That can leave you like, girl, what's wrong with you? But that's me. That's the most comfortable version of me. Then there is Kimspirations. So Kimspirations is the life coach. I am a certified life coach. I started my coaching business in 2021 as well. I have done things in the mental health realm where I've done some mental health talks with my church called How Are You Mentally? And so with those, our young adults ministry would just meet, and I would facilitate those talks to bring together how our mental health affects every area of our lives, and always talk about what we can do to kind of improve those things. Kimspirations is a life coaching agency that helps those who are seeking to just improve life, right? To overcome barriers, to overcome those barriers that kind of keeps us in cycles of being stuck. So if you are interested in coaching services, go over to iamkimspirations.com, www.iamkimspirations.com, and it'll also be linked in the description, right? So that's that portion. And then there is Casey, the mental health homegirl, that girl that is bubbly and fun, sometimes anxious and overwhelmed, but that person who has a deep desire to literally see everybody win. One thing about Casey is there's two things that make me light up, right? And that's God and mental health. Like, I will light up like a Christmas tree in the middle of July talking about either of those topics. And I think that like over the last couple of years, that's when I kind of became Casey. Literally, the name came from I was working in the school system, and I was like, I have to make sure that the kids don't find me. So I went and created like the name of Casey, and that was like who I was like on the internet. And then people started to like really call me that, and I was like, I like that. I like that. And so, but the transitions that I've made in life recently kind of fits it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take it. Let's roll with it. So that's kind of who I am. And like I said, so the purpose of this channel is for us to just come together and just talk about those things that we sometimes don't feel safe enough to talk about, or to just be a reminder that the things that you are going through, there are other people who are experiencing it, right? And that is definitely not to discount what you are feeling, but that is to give you hope that you will overcome it, because there's somebody else that's currently thriving after they've gone through that situation, or even thriving in the midst of that situation. So that is my biggest hope for this channel. So like I said, I received this this download or this idea to come up with this channel in, I think I said 2021 earlier. I think I was wrong. It's 2020, the midst of the pandemic. So I could have been thriving. I could have been quit my real job and been a whole YouTube sensation if I would have started back then. But anyway, so some things that kind of like kept me from pressing record is fear, shame, doubt, insecurity, right? And these are definitely going to be things that we talk about probably a lot on this channel, because those are things that keep us stuck, keep us bound. And it's crazy because I can have a conversation with somebody and it can be like one of the greatest conversations. But once I press record, once I see this little red light on, like I feel like you can't say those things. Like you can't post a video. You can't do that because what are people going to think? Like people are going to judge you. Like all of these negative thoughts come to my mind. And for the longest, it has kept me from making the videos, right? And then when those thoughts no longer work, and I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. Then my mind was like, oh, but before you do it, you have to do all of you have to create this type of environment. You need this and you need that. And really, it was just another way of me procrastinating on making the channel. One thing that I sometimes still struggle with now is like the perfection piece of it, is I feel like I have to be so well put together. If I stumble over one word, I will stop and literally delete the video and start over. And I do this all the time, but then the thought often comes to my head, and I know this has to be the Holy Spirit reminding me, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to get out what it is you are trying to say, because nobody's perfect. And if we are trying to make people feel like they can relate to you, then showing up in this box like this Barbie doll and you know, just so poised and perfect and put together, that's not always relatable, because there are times where people are a mess. People feel like their lives is falling apart at the seams. And so to be able to get on camera and say, y'all, I had the worst week ever. From Monday to Monday, this is what's happening. That is what makes people feel like they can relate to you. Not all that extra stuff. So I had to get to a point where I literally had to like tell myself, like, you just got to do it. Like, you get up, record the video, you know. And so I think it was perfect because I went out to have brunch with some of my friends today, and I was like, you can record that video when you get home. So I did try to talk myself out of it, but here we are. Insecurity. Now, baby, that's a whole video in and of itself. But like insecurities are on an all-time high. And that's just because, honestly, of the internet, because these people, they show up, right? And I'm not knocking how anybody else show up, because do you, boo? Like, I support you. Like, I'm rooting for everybody. But it's easy for us to look at what everybody else is doing and then turn around and look in the mirror and compare ourselves. Now, if you've gotten to a place where like you are not in that space anymore, kudos to you. Give me some tips, because sometimes I still be struggling. But that has been one of the major holdups for me, you know, starting this channel, because I'm like, I don't measure up. Like, my hair is not always nice. I don't always do my makeup. Sometimes I do my makeup and I still look a hot mess, you know. And there's just a whole lot of excuses, but they're all rooted in the fact that I am sometimes insecure showing up on camera. But we're gonna work this thing out. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it scared. We're gonna do it insecure. We're gonna do it fearful. All of that stuff, because the more that we show up to do it, number one, first and foremost, God is gonna get the glory, because this conversations with Casey ain't about Casey. This ain't about Kim. This ain't about Kim's Inspirations. This is about shining, letting God shine through me, letting the Lord shine through me and work through me to reach whoever it is that I'm called to reach. And so we gonna, you know, now I'm gonna make sure that I'm not putting out no mess. You know, I ain't coming up here. I'm not gonna try not to be half stepping, but I'm gonna start like I'm gonna do it at 95%. I'm gonna do it at 90%, and we're just gonna let God do what He do. So yeah, this thing has been, it's been like an interesting journey with God. Like every day, it is something. He has tricks up his sleeve. He's quite the quite the father. But I think that being able to show up and do the things that we know that he has called us to do is like what's most important, right? Because he's not gonna care when we stand before him on judgment day and he says, all right, this is who you were supposed to reach, right? If you were given the assignment to make a video, if you were given an assignment to create a post or go out, whatever it is, he's gonna say, this is who you were called to reach, this is who you were supposed to reach, but you didn't because you were more concerned with insert the list of things that we use as excuses to not do what he's called us to do. So this is gonna be like a space for us to just, we gotta get it together, friends, and we're gonna get it together. We're gonna walk this thing out together. This is a community now, so welcome. There's no turning back. So yeah, this is, I think that's pretty much it. That was all of my notes that I had, and I just wanted to get on and do a quick update. So because I am like a social worker into mental health and all of those things, some topics will be related to mental health, related to like family dynamics and all of that stuff. And then some things will be about, you know, relationships with God and, you know, our walk with God and all of those things. Some videos will be a combination of the two. So if there's anything in particular you like to hear, excuse me, let me know. I have like a list of topics already, but definitely let me know if it's anything in particular you'd like to hear. Please connect with me on all other social sites. TikTok is I am Kimspirations. Instagram is I am.Kimspirations, and I think the Facebook is connected. But all of my social media sites are tagged in the description below. So friends, let's get comfortable. Let's talk.
I guess that's what's messing with me. True story, my story. I'ma be real with it. Come from the bill with it. I guess I've been filled with it.